Hello.
Patron.
We're a bit flat today.
We are a bit flat today, so we need to pick it up,
We
don't
we
we?
do need to pick it up. So we are the tarot dealers.
We are the tarot dealers.
Just two old ducks who love talking tarot, don't we?
We do. We absolutely love talking tarot.
So we have between us over 50 years experience in tarot, teaching tarot, reading tarot, all the things tarot.
All
We,
things tarot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All things tarot. So today we are looking at the energy for
For
June.
June.
Look at
You
that, just
believe it?
jumped out.
Oh, look at the cat.
The King of Pentacles just jumped out for whatever reason. So let's make it the card of these.
Part of the episode.
I was going to say session. It's an episode.
It's part of the episode.
The episode.
Well, even though we might be feeling a bit fat, I think with the King of Pentacles, it's just sort of saying that, well, quite obviously, we have a lot of resources at hand.
Absolutely. The king definitely is very
Well,
resourceful.
yes,
I like that.
yes.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, he's resourceful. He's the king. So
yeah,
he like knows a lot of shit, sits on his throne there, and he's a bit of an earthy, grounded type person, is how I see
mhm.
that. Can be a bit arrogant, I feel
I think
sometimes.
especially I often get that in the especially in the Rider-Waite, the expression on that king's face is very arrogant, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes, I would be in agreement there. I'm actually drawn to all the grapes. So to me, the grapes are well, that nourishment in a way, like
Mm.
like food, and it's the step before wine.
Yeah.
A little step before wine. So yeah, so I think he's what how do we relate this to the episode of June then?
Yeah,
June might be about a month where we have to look at our resources. It
exactly.
also might be a month where it's like the step before the finalization of something, funny enough.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm drawn to the castle in the background, so I'm feeling like this might have things to do with our home and our
Mm.
structures and how we feel safe or
Oh,
unsafe.
yes.
Mm,
Because I'm drawn to his pentacle that he's got in his hand or
okay.
resting on it.
What do you
So
make of
I think as
that?
soon as it came out, I thought, well, June might be just the start of us prospering. All the work
Yeah.
we've been putting in the last couple of years are now starting to show fruit.
Fruit. I like that. I like that. So there you have it, right? Two different interpretations, but you can see how they actually blend together.
Yes,
So yeah, June might be
I think
that.
it might be that.
I'm going to pop it
The
back.
start of things
The start of things and things bearing
bearing
fruit.
fruit. Yeah,
Oh, I do like that.
yes.
I do like that. Okay. So am I going
You
first?
go first.
Okay.
You go first.
I'll go first this month. So the energies of June is the intention. What are the energies of June? What's going on? What do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of? What needs to be brought into our awareness?
Mm.
How do we best work with all of these things for the highest good of all on the highest timeline? We'll start with
Let's
that.
start with that.
Okay. Oops, geez.
Well, they're all coming out
Five
now, eh?
fingers today. Okay, and I'll just set it all up,
Yep.
and we're just doing like just roughly 4 cards
Yeah.
per week.
Yeah. So we're just going to do four weeks, 4 cards per week.
Yeah, just
It's just
give us
it's
an
just an
idea.
overview, isn't it? It's just a
It
guideline.
is an overview and just a guideline. So what we're really saying is do it your own fucking way,
Exactly.
right? This is our way.
If you like our way, do it our way. If you don't, use your
Exactly.
own.
Exactly. You're welcome to share. However, looks like a mixed
It
bag,
does,
doesn't
doesn't
it?
it?
So we start with the Wheel of Fortune in the Rider-Waite deck, which is the deck that I'm
Yeah.
using for this today. And we can see here the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune, funny enough, speaks a bit about karma, right? And the hidden stuff, I feel that potentially is going to be more on the rise. I
Mhm.
really feel like we're going to see more of that. And this particular hidden stuff on the rise, looking at this first week of June, maybe more around, we might hear things come through the legal system, or we might hear things come through. It's not a government card, but the word government comes to mind. So we might see how things in government have legally impacted us,
Mhm.
or how they have, they, how the system has
Yeah.
chosen to use the law to do its bidding,
Whatever
for
they're gonna
argument's
do.
sake, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's really interesting about these first four cards is I have two of them with the scales on, and there's only two cards in the Rider-Waite deck that actually have scales. So it's going to be very much as we
Yeah.
hit into June about what is considered to be equal and fair.
Yeah, because we've
That's
got, yeah, starting with the Wheel of Fortune, then we go into the Three of
Three of
Swords.
Swords, which to me is that emotional.
Mm. Upheaval, isn't it?
It is. I was going
Yeah.
to say it's like a reaction
Yeah.
almost. It's like the or the
Mm.
consequence of
Yeah.
the
The
change
change.
that is rolling
Yeah.
through or what has been exposed. Because the Wheel of Fortune can be very calming, but it's also a card of like, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's things, not all the information's here yet. We haven't
Yeah.
got everything. But my sense about this first week is that we will feel
Mm.
here into some information that is going to come up. Now,
Yeah.
it may cause some people to respond emotionally. And it is, I feel, going to be around the systems,
Yeah.
right? So not so much personal
No,
stuff.
it's
I
got
feel
overview, isn't it?
I feel like this is more that world stage
Yeah.
stuff. Uh, interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting that
yeah.
sometimes I
Because you
get
seem
that
to go the world,
once.
the global, don't
Yeah.
you? I go to more personally.
Yeah, well, because that's what people really
Yeah.
want, don't they?
Yeah.
So I don't know why this has gone this way, but it has.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling that that's what that first week will be about,
Yeah.
and potentially around like finances and our resources. So we might hear about how those resources have been adjusted, changed, manipulated, or whatever. And then what we have left or what we've been given out of a great big bucket of stuff, how we've just got the little bits left.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Moving into the second week, I feel it's going to be like one step at a time. And why I say that is we start with the Two of Swords, followed by the Three of Cups, hence 2, 3.
Yeah, one step.
2, 3. So I feel like that is, one step. And the need to connect with your friends and emotionally support,
Yeah.
because when we
yes.
look at this, the first week, the second card is a 3, and the second week, the second card is a 3. So I'm like, definitely something around that. So making sure that emotionally we support ourselves, because it's both emotion, really.
They are,
Even though one's a sword, it still is speaking into the emotion of, because it's the heart
It's the heart.
that lets us know. And then underneath it, we had
The Three of Cups.
Three of Cups. Yeah, what's wrong with my hands today? Good Lord. Yeah, so I feel like the second week is one step at a time, which will lead to our bigger picture, and then to be firm about what it is we want, not to settle for less. Like I find that when there's a bit of pressure applied, this is the sense I'm getting from this. When there's a bit of pressure applied from systems, we tend to, in the past, have just followed, complied, whatever. And we're being asked here to kind of stand as firm as we possibly can on this, because it's literally been worked to death.
Yeah, I'm looking because we've got, like you said, the Two of Swords, Three of Cups, and then we go into the Star. And when you were talking, I'm thinking the Star. So think for yourself.
Absolutely think for yourself. Absolutely think for yourself, like, what's your dreams? And be really conscious about that, right? That's my feeling on that. And then the King, beg your pardon, the Knight of Pentacles is where it can be seen as a stubborn card, but I just see it as like stand your ground.
Yes, very much stand your ground.
Stand your ground. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
That's how it looks like it's following, isn't it? In the second week of June.
It does look like that. And then when we look at the third week, roughly the third week, we start with Judgment. So Judgment is, I feel, it's kind of like where we get reinvented. It's like that born again thing, but it's also like they're having judgment of self and others. So, and why I'm saying that in this context is because the second card following that is the Knight of Swords. And he's facing that judgment card as if he is attacking it.
Yes.
So that's why I'm feeling. So what I would say to you is be mindful of the things that you might hear other people communicate about other people, or about other situations. That's what I'm getting for that. So be mindful about that, and don't get caught in the emotion or the drama
which is the Queen of
which
Cups
is the Queen of
beside.
Cups, right? Don't get caught in that. Think again for yourself and determine with the Two of Wands where you need to position yourself and what you're looking at. This is literally like a new world, right?
I think so. And it's one that we are putting ourselves first.
Yeah,
And we're
absolutely.
not following the sheep. We're not
Mm.
following anybody else. It's like, no, how do I feel? What do I want?
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Yeah.
a really interesting month so
Mm.
far to be having things brought up, which is then asking us to, well, what do we actually
What
think
do
and
you
feel
want?
about that?
Yeah.
And not to buy in the drama or the gossip or the
Yeah.
stories. Because that's to me what that is, because he's literally attacking that judgment
It is.
card. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like this judgment literally is occurring.
Yes, and it's like with the notice, are we questioning it? Oh, is the judgment being laid out, but we are questioning it for
Yeah,
ourselves.
well, it could be that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It could be that. And then we look at the last week and we've got the devil, okay, which is kind of the thing that comes to mind is better the devil you know than the one you don't.
Yeah.
However, um, I'm feeling when I look at that because it's right beside the Ace of Cups. So
Yeah.
the Ace of Cups is a really cool card full of abundance, right? So I'm looking at this and feeling that potentially it might be about like our connections or our relationships and determining even the ones with ourselves that we are choosing now love,
Yeah.
right? Because there is this temptation. When I look at these two together, you'll see that they've literally turned their back on that ace.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
And that's where the temptation comes in, isn't it? With the devil. The
absolutely.
temptation
The
comes in for it.
temptation comes in with the devil. So I feel in this sense that by the end of the month, you'll have a much better idea on what is right and real for you as opposed to illusionary. Because I
Yes.
do feel like that devil is tempting us with, oh, hey, but this is great. Things look good.
Yes.
Come over here. But there's this like collective awakening that says, you know what?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. And there's move away, and the move away is toward the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, I love the Queen of Pentacles card. She's kind, she's caring, she's very, very nurturing. She's incredibly gifted in terms of manifestation because she's very much like the magician in that sense. And I feel it's about where we're moving towards that type of world that we would rather,
Right.
which is open, fair, integral, honest,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
All of that. And the other thing that I'm getting whenever I see this card, I often think of like the natural therapies or the naturopath itself, the homeopaths, that kind of thing. I would go as far as saying making sure that this month you look after your bodies,
Yes. Yeah, I think
right?
that's a big thing.
Definitely look after your bodies. What are you nurturing it with, or are you not
Yeah.
nurturing at all? Like, what are you actually doing in that space? Is it strong? Is it able to move? Like, how does your gut feel? How
Exactly.
does your gut feel, right? And was the other thing that's happening too is because we've moved out of earth signs and water signs, and we're now in fire and air. So they're both masculine,
Yes.
right? So they're full on,
Yeah.
right? And fire and air, think about what that does.
Yeah, that blows up,
Blows
doesn't
it up real
it?
quick, right? Or blows it out, right? So, what is it?
See what happens.
Yeah, so this is what I would
Yeah.
say from a world stage kind of point of view.
Yeah.
Love to know your thoughts on this energy stuff, hey, as to how that
Yeah.
might
How
be.
it plays out for you and what you're feeling
Yeah,
about what's
like, do
going
you
on.
experience any of this,
Yeah.
at all, or am I completely off the mark? And then
Yeah.
when Tren has hers, which is much more personal, for the people individually as opposed to the collective,
Yeah.
then we want to know about that too. Like,
Exactly.
are we in fact working
Just going to
correctly
take a
together?
photo.
Yeah, Tren's going to take a photo because we need to do that for our
Make sure
socials.
make
Did you
sure I've
get
got
it
it
all?
all. No, I
No,
didn't get
do
it
it
all. I'm going
again.
to stand it up. Sorry.
Do it again. Very good.
That's better.
That's better. Well done. I love that. And I love that you get to see that we're just two fucking humans having a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Having a good time. Hope that makes sense. I'm going to hand it over to
Yeah.
Tren now.
So yeah, so and if you've got any input or any feedback, yes, about Lou's readings and how it affects you or how the world stays, just contact us on our
Oh, yeah.
email.
Where are we?
Well, how can you contact us? On our email, which is thetarotdealers@gmail.com. You can always, excuse me, comment on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can always, I was going to say message on it, but you just fucking said that. Sorry. Oh my God. Takes me a bit to process. Sorry, Trent. Yeah. But
All right.
this is us, right?
Yeah,
This is us.
all our glory.
All our glory. And we love it. Look at this. We even have cups.
Yeah, we've got cups.
We even have
Yeah.
cups.
So let's just see what we need to know, what we need to keep in our awareness or our focus for the month of June.
Yes. What do we need to do?
We need to keep in our awareness and focus. And like Lou said, this is just for the collective. It's not just a personal reading for anybody. It's just for the collective, for our highest good.
Yes.
And all our highest good. Let's put it that way. The June, what do we need to know for June 2025?
Yeah. So you were more precise.
Oh,
Good
we had the
job.
King of Pentacles that came out for the episode. We've just come out with the King of Cups first up.
There you go.
Oh, oh my goodness, we got the Wheel of Fortune as well. And Judgment
in the first week.
in the first week.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a mixed bag, eh? And
It really is.
I had said that we've moved from earth and water
Yeah.
into fire
And
and
air.
air, which is represented by a wand and a sword. And
Exactly.
you won't believe what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Oh, wow. Well, we end well.
We do end well. I like that, which is great because in mine we kind of walked away
We walked away, yes.
from what we've known in the past, but we walked
Yeah.
away based on our own knowledge and our own experience. That's
Exactly.
what I like about the
Yeah.
ending of that. And we'll get to the ending of this in a minute.
Yeah, we will get to, yeah, it won't keep you in suspense.
Maybe.
Maybe we will.
We should.
But we start off with the King of Cups. And it's funny because you had what, 2 and 3. I've got 2 5s. So the first week might be a little bit challenging and a 10. So it might be a bit challenging and then an ending. So we've just got to get through some crap first.
Yeah, it's like a double whammy.
It really isn't that first week. And with the King of Cups, I think we might start June feeling like, oh, we're on top of the world. We know what we're doing. And then it just goes, oh, shit. Because we moved from the King of Cups to 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands.
Yeah, and again, it's like about I've picked that up from you.
Yeah, don't say that.
It's about the 5 of Swords being about the choice that we make around the arguments or the conflict, or like it's pick and choose your battles,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's that I've won the battles and people have had to walk away, but it's this battling energy, and it's still a sword, which is about the communication piece apart from the battling stuff. So I'm wondering here too, if that bigger picture.
It's a lot of communication filtering down, because even though we're looking at the 5 of Swords, but then we've got the 5 of Wands, which again, in this context, I think it's all about communication as well, because nobody's talking to anybody. They're all doing their own thing. So we might have won a battle, but we're still not solving
collectively.
We're still not working together.
Yeah.
And with the Wheel of Fortune right at the end, which is a 10, it's like, hang on, we might have gone through the shit in this week, but we still don't know everything. There's still so much unknown with that Wheel of Fortune. There's just still so much unknown. And then we move into Judgment for the second week. So it's like, is that when the information comes through?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that when we get the information?
Well, interesting, because look at the next one.
Because we've got the six of Wands straight after Judgment. Yeah. So maybe it is. Maybe we can start to see our way forward, because we walk into the Page of Swords. So it's like, we're starting to walk forward. We still don't know everything.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? I'm sorry, I've just got something a little bit global again.
Yeah.
This, I think might be we might hear some news about the way the internet operates,
Yeah.
or we might be looking back at some internet issues.
Yeah, because we've got, like I said, we've got the Page of Swords, and then right beside it is the Seven of Cups.
Yeah,
So that's where Lou's
that's where
getting
you're
that from
it from,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we might think we've won a little bit of a, oh, we're on the road to success, but we don't know everything, and we've still got to contend with, there's more information to come, but it's not the right time. And there may be, like Lou said, there might be issues. There could just be so many choices. We don't know where to
I
go,
was just
what to
to
do.
say, I think it's to know what to do. I
What
think
to
you're on the
do.
money there
Yeah.
with like what are we supposed to be doing with this
Yeah.
information, or what are we supposed to be doing with the situations?
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny because we've gone straight from, we have a lot of like 5, 6, and 7s.
Yeah.
We do. So we are leveling up, but it's going to be a bit of a stop start. It's
Yeah.
similar to you, like you with your one step at a time. It's a stop start thing, because we move into the Seven of Wands straight after the Seven of Cups. So it is, and I think you said it. We need to stand our ground with the decisions or the information or whatever we are holding within us.
Sorry, I'm just getting on fire today. And I'm not trying to take
No,
over.
no,
So
no.
shut me down, Tren, if
Yeah.
that's how you feel. That's not what we want
Yeah,
here.
no.
I'm looking at the third week here,
Yeah.
and we've got the Seven of Wands, as Tren was just talking about, and then we have the 5, I beg your pardon, the Hierophant, which is a 5, and then we have the 6 of Swords, and then we have
And
the
the
8 of
eight.
Cups. Now, why I'm saying all of that,
Yeah.
and I'll hold it up for you in a moment,
Yeah.
is it's almost like we are pushing back on tradition and saying, I am moving in my own direction because I now choose a spiritual journey.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So I'll show you how I got that. I just
Yeah.
got to try and make sure that they all
Come up
because on the screen they look
backwards.
So, but I'll need to keep them in this order
Yeah.
so that you can see what Tren and I are looking
Yeah.
at and why we're saying this. See here, like that's the defense. The defense against what? The
Tradition.
defense against tradition and custom. And when we look at tradition and custom, you'll see there that the back is turned and there's this walk away from. The swords are the information, the knowledge, what we choose to take in our boat with us.
Yes.
And then here is the spiritual journey where because this is the minor version of the hermit, right?
Yeah.
So he's about to go and use the knowledge in this boat to become who he needs to be. But it is really moving away from this motherfucker.
Yes, he's one that I just don't like.
Like
I find him the Hierophant, and especially that word, the Hierophant, because it's such an old word. But it's also being a 5, it's a challenge.
Yeah,
it's a
it is
challenging
a challenge,
card.
and either it's tradition and custom, or you can go straight to religion. Now, I'm not talking about spirituality.
No.
I'm speaking about the confines and the constructs around religion. There might be something bigger picture here or world stage that says
that shapes us.
That shapes us up in that space.
And that's is really what it's looking like in that third week of June. It's like we're standing our ground. No, we've made decisions. And then just say our faith comes into it. And I'm questioning the faith. I'm questioning what I've been
told, led to believe.
I'm questioning it because I don't believe it anymore, or it doesn't feel right anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where you're walking away. You're taking your new beliefs, your new values, walking away into a more spiritual sense
it is definitely
for yourself.
Spiritual practice, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we go into the fourth week when we start with the Ace of Wands. So it's like, yes, we may be walking away into a new spiritual practice, but with the Ace of Wands, we're actually walking the talk.
Yes.
Because the Ace and Wands are all about the doing. We are doing it. So we're not talking about it anymore. We're doing it. Our actions are showing we're serious about this. And then we move into the Two of Cups, which is like, we're starting to build a bit of a community. We're bringing our people together.
Choosing, isn't it?
It's really choosing,
who we're going to connect with.
And that sort of, I think, comes back to the start of the month when we had those 2 5s, the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands, where we're battling a little bit. So it's like maybe we may actually quite literally be maybe walking away from some people that don't serve us anymore.
Yeah. And that's not easy to do either, right? So we are acknowledging that it's not easy for the person who is put in the position where they need to make those
Yeah.
decisions out of safety
Yeah.
or out of
Well, there are
sanity
their
and their
well-being.
well-being, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
it's not easy when you're that person put in that
No.
position. And I have no doubt it's not easy for the person on the other
On the
end
other
of
side
that
as
either.
well. Yeah.
So, yeah,
But I think because you lead from the Two of Cups to the Queen of Wands, which is like
Queen of
Queen of
Swords.
Swords, I'm sorry, Queen of Swords. So it's very much about you really saying what you need to say.
Is what I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like very much there is no argument.
Yeah, yeah.
No
Not
argument.
arguing.
It's like, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm getting.
Mm.
And I'm not backing down, I'm not turning around and going backwards. My whole focus is going forwards. And we're going forward straight into the sun.
I like that.
We're going straight into the sun. That's what we were so excited about for the end of the month.
Very
We
much
really
so.
are going in. And it's funny because there's quite literally the horse in there with that direction. We are going in for ourselves, we are going in the right direction. So if we ever question, are we being led astray? Are we going in the wrong direction? The sun is saying you are going in the right direction. So because coming back to that Hierophant, you've let go of some of the old beliefs.
Mm.
Start bringing new ones and trusting, and you are being guided to where you need to be.
Yeah.
And people will be put in front of you who are for you, for the right reasons, for the right people. Again, you've still got to question, do these feel right? Do I feel okay? You know, you've got to feel these things before you just trundle along. If they don't feel right, do not go with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that trend.
Yeah.
Very much. It feels like it's a pretty big month
I
ahead.
think it's a pretty big, and I've always felt, especially that June is going to be a turning point.
That's what it feels like.
It really feels like
That's
June
what
is
it
going to be
feels
a
like.
turning point.
Yeah. Yeah, on a lot of things.
Yeah, and that's more than just a personal level. It's like you said, that global. It's going to be a turning point, and I think it might be the start of, and this probably, I mean, the people could start rising up
I
and
think,
just go,
yeah,
no,
absolutely, absolutely. I think there's a bit of that. I certainly felt that in
your reading,
in my reading, and even a little bit in this. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a
Because-
strong energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
because we really are rising up for ourselves first, and then saying, no,
Mm.
we're not going to blindly follow anymore. We're trusting our own intuition, our own selves for
And
what we want.
Absolutely. And I feel like communities are a little bit over getting hurt and a little bit over
Being ignored.
being ignored. Yeah,
Yeah.
completely. So
Yeah.
this makes perfect sense. Wow.
Look forward to June.
Look forward to June because it ends well, right?
It ends well. I'm just going to take a photo.
And yes,
We'll show you.
wow.
Yep.
Well done. Thanks for listening.
So thanks for, and like we said, let us know how your June goes.
Yeah, we'd love to know
We'd
how
love
that
to know.
compares because,
Yeah.
you know, this will give us a little bit of,
Yeah. And if
we can get feedback on this.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you decide to do your own June layout, let us know how yours is, and whether it ties in with ours or it's completely different.
Yeah, because we'd love to know. We're always
Yeah.
learning.
Exactly. We'll never
Okay.
stop, will we?
No, no. So have an amazing day,
Yes.
night, evening, whatever you're doing. And we will catch you next time.
See you later.
Big love. Bye.